Hello, I'm Joseph.
I'm Robin.
Welcome to Sustainable Love.
We're happy you're watching today because we've decided to share our faces on a video so you can get to know us better. If you have found sustainable love, you might be looking for some spiritual activation, understanding, or healing work. We wanted to share a little bit about our spiritual backgrounds, how we have evolved into sustainable love based on healing in our relationship, and some of the skills and the tools that got activated from really getting to know our souls in our marriage and our relationship.
We got together 17 years ago, and from the moment that we met each other, we knew that it was something different, something really exciting, and we both got fevers. And I started to experience within the next couple of weeks past lives that I didn't know that I had, or parallel lives, whichever they are. I recognized inner child parts, and my inner feminine came forward, and I was shocked that all that had been in abeyance for so many years came to the surface. And what we started to do was work with each other and develop some of the techniques that we offer people now in dealing with each other and bringing these parts that we didn't know were within us to the surface and trying to give them their voices and let them speak out to us and tell us what they were all about.
And one of the most powerful things that we've uncovered is we were reflecting unconscious aspects of our own inner male female belief systems, our own wounded parts, but also our strengths and our gifts. So Joseph would show me things about my inner male that I had no idea I was capable of. And in his presence, his great love started to activate past trauma. And before I met Joseph, I really wasn't aware how much trauma I had had with sexual abuse. So some of you may have experienced falling in love with someone, getting really, really close, realizing this is the one, this is the path for my soul. And then all this high frequency comes up in your being. And the next thing you know, you're in the craps. You're in the darkest of the dark, the most miserable, mistrusting situation. And you think your partner or this person you have fallen in love with is really the demon of your life. So this happens because love brings up everything unlike itself. It brings up the patterns that you haven't been able to own in your other relationships that probably helped dissolve your other relationships, but you projected it on the other person. When we met, we were shown that we were each other's gifts, and that if we were willing to keep choosing love and stay contained in our bodies, that this relationship could be the doorway to bring back wholeness into our eternal soul body. And that was pretty exciting for us. Then our gifts started showing up. Spiritual gifts that Joseph brought to the healing sessions really were amazing.
Oh, thank you. The thing I think that's really important about the activation that Robin mentioned was we decided to commit to each other and not to run away once the activation started. And I had a past where I would have probably run away when things got as intense as they did. Well, we decided to stick it out. And in that sticking it out, I think we've grown incredibly. And then we started to have kids.
Yes, the children.
And that brought up a whole new level of activations and gifts. They started to show us even more parts of ourselves that we didn't know existed, and then even brought up galactic and genetic issues and concepts that we weren't even aware of before we got together.
And in that process of supporting our children to feel safe, feel loved, we had to meet the aspects of our own inner children that had been parented in a way that was very painful. So I would watch Joseph parent in a way that hurt my heart, and then we would go and talk about that, and he realized, well, that's what his dad did, that's what his mother did. And then he would confront me and say, wait, why are you disconnecting and disassociating when I'm setting a boundary? And then I realized that was my child, that when my dad was too firm and he would hit the boys, I would take off and disassociate. So we used every circumstance in parenting to become more whole within ourselves, to bring our children into completion from the past. And then the spiritual gifts of that began to reveal themselves is that we could share with others in session work. Because anything that we did together became a tool that we could then teach others to empower themselves.
We realized that parenting, for one thing, is something that is carried down through the generations. And there's a certain way that our parents learned how to parent based on their parents and their parents. And we figured out that we are the generation that stops the places that are harmful. And so that opened us up to ways of listening to our children in ways that our parents never listened to us.
Our children showed us that they were eternal souls. We knew that about ourselves in meeting each other. And we actually had conversations with our children before they incarnated. And that was very exciting. And also, we got a map of what the challenges might be and what would be called forth from us if we were really going to be able to accept their soul journey and not be codependent, not be in the place of trying to over-control, not wound them with our own wounds. And yes, we made mistakes. And we still make mistakes. Our kids are 12, 16, and 24. So they're in a big spread of learning with us at this time. And they all know who they are as eternal beings, which is pretty amazing.
And what we've done, and one of the reasons that we created Sustainable Love in the first place, was to take our experiences into a client situation and show people through our vulnerability how they can change and what might be going on in their lives that they're not aware of. And so every time we move into a session with people, we know that we may even learn more than they do in the sessions because we open up and we become vulnerable and change with them as they're going through the changes in their lives.
And during session work, what Joseph's role is, it's so beautiful, is especially with women that have been abused. He creates a field of safety from the masculine perspective. And he's able to hold unconditional love in his body for the horrors of abuse that many women have gone through, and men. So many of our clients have healed or seeking healing for sexual abuse. And I've been so blessed that Joseph has helped me heal many, many traumas in my body. So when that field opens up that he sets intention for, he also works dimensionally with all the soul energy that is somehow co-created the experiences, which we can talk about in another more in-depth time to really explain how we've learned that the soul is in co-creation of all experiences.
And what Robin brings to the sessions is something that I think is miraculous, to say the least. She can tune into an inner part of herself that's separate from waking normal Robin. It's a part that is what we call transdimensional, that can see to the greatest depths of one's soul, the place where maybe an early violation occurred. And we travel together in that space. We can bring forward the issue that is manifesting in their life so that they can look at it and deal with it in present time. And we're really only satisfied when we see changes in the physical, when we know that somebody is changing their life. They make an intention for something, and then we see the physical changes in their lives. Then we know that the work works.
And we're always in the learning journey. And that's one of the things I so appreciate about Joseph and our commitment with our healing team is that if something doesn't work, we're going to throw it out. You guide the process through what is loving for you. And we continue to grow and learn with every situation and every experience. And I love the transparency and vulnerability that this work requires because it really keeps us out of the guru matrix or people giving their power away to us. And we then build a community of people around us that empower in their own ability to know the truth for themselves. We invite you to blog with us, share your feelings and opinions about your experiences, what needs you might have, because during this crazy time of our evolution, it seems like the needs may be changing, and we really want to meet the need in humanity, in each other, for love and freedom. And what is that for you? Would you share that with us? So thanks for watching.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you again.